Welcome to the SUNY Library's microcourse on what is research. While you're in college, you'll be doing a lot of research on a lot of different topics. This introductory microcourse will help you understand what research actually is and what traits are possessed by good researchers. Research is about seeking information, but it's really just one of several information seeking behaviors that all have their own place and purpose. We'll look at four of these: the simple search, browsing, fact checking, and finally, research. Let's start with the simple search, which is by far the most common information seeking behavior, something we all do all the time. Think of a simple search as an information snatch and grab, something you can do really quick through an easy Google search. You need a little piece of information. Hey, who was that actress in that movie we watched last night? You jump on the web, find the answer, and jump off. Quick and simple. Next up is browsing. You practice browsing when you need information on a subject, but you might not have a narrow topic or specific question in mind just yet. So you casually scan sources until something catches your eye. You might browse the book stacks at the library, a list of online articles, or a reference source like an encyclopedia or Wikipedia. Browsing is an important information seeking behavior, but it's not a particularly structured one. Third is fact checking. This is when you already have a particular piece of information and you need to verify its accuracy. Unlike browsing, fact checking is very specific. You might be looking for another source that confirms the information you already have, details on the author's credentials, or something else that tells you that your original source is trustworthy. And that finally brings us to research. Research is the most complicated and in depth of all these information seeking behaviors, but don't worry, other microcourses will cover its various aspects. First of all, research answers a complex question on a specific topic. This isn't a simple search, where you're just trying to find a little piece of trivia. It's an exploration of a wide range of sources to answer your research question. Research is also strategic. You'll be developing a plan to search your topic and lists of keywords to implement that plan. And research is an exploration not only of information, but of various scholars' perspectives about your topic. What have different people written about this thing? It's helpful to think of everything that's been written on your subject as being part of a big conversation or debate. It's just a debate that's being carried out in articles and books rather than through people talking to each other. The authors of all the different sources you uncover are expressing their opinions and findings on the topic, so well conducted research will have a diversity of sources so you can see the full scope of the debate, discover what the main arguments are, and understand why the authors came to their conclusions. Good researchers share common traits, and these are essential to develop. To be a good researcher, you need to be curious. What's out there on your topic, and how can you find it? Be flexible and creative. If your initial search doesn't work, be willing to change things up and try new approaches. And be stubborn and persistent. When the going gets tough, you've got to stick with it. The best researchers aren't necessarily any smarter than everybody else, they're just more stubborn. It's important to remember that research can be a struggle. You might run into roadblocks, fail to come up with sources in your initial searches, or discover so many sources that you get overwhelmed. The following lessons in this microcourse series will teach you how to break through these roadblocks, but you'll need to be persistent to be a successful researcher. And always keep in mind that research is a skill that you develop through practice. The more research you do, the better you'll get at it. So if you struggle at first, that's perfectly fine. In fact, it's to be expected. Nobody's born a brilliant academic researcher. And that's why librarians are here. So if you run into a rough patch during your research, ask your librarian and we'll always be happy to help.